and remain standing until the conclusion of the reading of the proclamation. Ladies and gentlemen, the proclamation. All persons having any business before this honorable court now draw nigh. Give your attendance, and you shall be heard.
Admission of lawyers. Lauren Grace Agostini.
May it please the court, I move that Lauren Grace Agostini be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Lauren Grace Agostini be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Serena Dorothy Ash.
May it please the court, I move that Serena Dorothy Ash, my daughter, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Serena Dorothy Ash be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Isabella Christine Baker.
May it please the court, I move that Isabella Christine Baker be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Isabella Christine Baker be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Mariana Barson.
May it please the court, I move that Mariana Barson be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Mariana Barson be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Carolyn Jean Booker.
May it please the court, I move that Carolyn Jean Booker be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Carolyn Jean Booker be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Genesis Gabriella Barbano.
May it please the court, I move that Genesis Gabriella Barbano be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Genesis Gabriella Barbano be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sophia Rebecca Cant.
May it please the court, I move that Sophie Rebecca Cant be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Sophie Rebecca Cant be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Archie Garcia Carlos.
May it please the court, I move that Archie Garcia Carlos be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Archie Garcia Carlos be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Owe Chahada.
May it please the court, I move that Owais Chahada be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Owais Chahada be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Benny Hao Chen.
May it please the court, I move that Benny Hao Chen be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Benny Hao Chen be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jessica Lorraine Chinook.
May it please the court, I move that Jessica Lorraine Chinook be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Jessica Lorraine Chinook be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Chiki Chiong.
May it please the court, I move that Chiki Cheong be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Chiki Cheong be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Tobias John Kipola.
May it please the court, I move that my son, Tobias John Chipola, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Tobias John Chipola be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Elizabeth Ann Cooper.
May it please the court, I move that Elizabeth Ann Cooper be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Elizabeth Ann Cooper be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Christopher Arthur Deeds.
May it please the court, I move that Christopher Arthur Deeds be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Christopher Arthur Deeds be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jacob Elliott.
May it please the court, I move that Jacob Elliott be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Jacob Elliott be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Abdallah Ezzeddin.
May it please the court, I move that Abdallah Ezzeddin be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Abdallah Ezzeddin be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Yuan Fang.
May it please the court, I move that Yuan Fang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Yuan Fang be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Mary Gleeson.
May it please the court, I move that Mary Gleeson be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Mary Gleeson be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Yulia Guo.
May it please the court, I move that Yuli Guo be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Yuli Guo be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Isha Gupta.
May it please the court, I move that Isha Gupta be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Isha Gupta be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Daryl Lawrence Han.
May it please the court, I move that Daryl Lawrence Hahn be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Daryl Lawrence Hahn be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Chuang Hao.
May it please the court, I move that Chuang Hao be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Chang Hao be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Taryn Hodgkinson.
May it please the court, I move that Taryn Hodgkinson be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Taryn Hodgkinson be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jialu Hua.
May it please the court, I move that Zhao Lu Hao be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Zhao Lu Hua be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jing Huang.
May it please the court, I move that Jing Huang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Jing Huang be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Robert Aaron Irwin.
May it please the court, I move that Robert Aaron Irwin be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Robert Aaron Irwin be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Caitlin Marie Kavanagh.
May it please the court, I move that Caitlin Marie Kavanagh be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Caitlin Marie Kavanagh be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Freya Elizabeth Kelly.
May it please the court, I move that Freya Elizabeth Kelly, my daughter, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Freya Elizabeth Kelly be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Yo-Yo Yilran Gao Kwok.
May it please the court, I move that Yo-Yo Gilran Gao Kwok be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Yo-Yo Yuran Gao Kwok be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Barbara Laliotis.
May it please the court, I move that Barbara Laliotis be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Barbara Laliotis be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Wai Hin Lee.
May it please the court, I move that Wai Hin Lee be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Wai Hin Lee be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Yi Liu.
May it please the court, I move that Yi Liu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Yi Liu be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Tiana Marie Ludwig.
May it please the court, I move that Tiana Marie Ludwig be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Tiana Marie Ludwig be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kate Lumsdane.
May it please the court, I move that Kate Lumsdane be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kate Lumsdane be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sophia Wilkes Martin.
May it please the court, I move that Sophia Wilkes Martin be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sophia Wilkes Martin be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Elise Claire McDermott.
May it please the court, I move that Elise Claire McDermott be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Elise Claire McDermott be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ashley Ann McKellar.
May it please the court, I move that Ashley Ann McKellar be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ashley Ann McKellar be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Bharti Raishe Mukwindidza.
May it please the court, I move that Bharti Raishe Mukwindidza be admitted as a lawyer in this honourable court.
Let Bharti Raishe Mukwindidza be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
John Naum.
May it please the court, I move that John Naum be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let John Naum be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Mohammed Zia Naseri.
May it please the court, I move that Mohammed Zia Nasiri be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Mohammed Zia Nasseri be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Nasim Najadi.
May it please the court, I move that Nassim Najadi be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Nassim Najadi be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Isabella Rose Panzerino.
May it please the court, I move that Isabella Rose Panzerino be admitted as an honourable lawyer of this court.
That Isabella Rose Panzerino be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Michael Louis Pascoe.
May it please the court, I move that my son, Michael Louis Pascoe, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Michael Louis Pascoe be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Zoe Patterson Ross.
May it please the court, I move that Zoe Patterson Ross be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Zoe Patterson Ross be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Eric Paul Pavlou.
May it please the court, I move that Eric Paul Pavlou be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Eric Paul Pavlou be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jeremy Paul Phillips.
May it please the court, I move that Jeremy Paul Phillips be admitted as a lawyer in this honourable court.
That Jeremy Paul Phillips be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Lamia Nawar Ramun.
May it please the court, I move that Lamia Nawar Rahman be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Lamia Nawar Rahman be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Malika Kevin Reiki.
May it please the court, I move that Malika Kevin Reiki be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Malika Kevin Reiki be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Juliet Rezkov.
May it please the court, I move that Juliet Reskov be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Juliet Reskov be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Rayan Sadi.
May it please the court, I move that Rayan Sadi be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Rayan Sadi be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Tamsin Haley Schooler.
May it please the court, I move that Tamsin Haley Schooler be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Tamsin Haley Schooler be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Mahesh Shashindran.
May it please the court, I move that Mahesh Shashindran be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Mahesh Shashindran be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ayam Shrestha.
May it please the court, I move that Ayam Shrestha be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Ayam Shrestha be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Anais Josie Simo Zumgang.
May it please the court, I move that Anais Josie Simo Zumgang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Anais Josie Simo Zumgang be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Gabrielle Victoria Snedden.
May it please the court, I move that Gabrielle Victoria Snedden be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Gabrielle Victoria Snedden be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Claudia Stahl.
May it please the court, I move that Claudia Stahl be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Claudia Stahl be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Stephen George Stelmach.
May it please the court, I move that Stephen George Stelmach be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Stephen George Stelmach be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Angus James Verhul.
May it please the court, I move that Angus James Verhul be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Angus James Verhul be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Marcus Michael Edwin Ware.
May it please the court, I move that Marcus Michael Edwin Ware be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Marcus Michael Edwin Ware be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
India Rose Vilma Warren.
May it please the court, I move that India Rose Vilma Warren be admitted as a lawyer in this honourable court.
That India Rose Vilma Warren be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jeffrey Ronald David White.
May it please the court, I move that Jeffrey Ronald David White be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Jeffrey Ronald David White be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Feifan Zong.
May it please the court, I move that Fei Fan Zong be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Feifan Zong be admitted as a lawyer of this court. Will now be necessary for those whose admission has just been moved to, when and as directed by our officer, stand for the purposes of swearing an oath or making a declaration and affirmation. So please stand when and as directed.
The first two rows to my right, please stand. Lauren Grace Agostini, Serena Dorothy Ash, Isabella Christine Baker, Mariana Barsom, Carolyn Jean Bucher, Genesis Gabriella Burbano, Sophie Rebecca Kant, Archie Garcia Carlos, Owais Chahada, Benny Hao Chen, Jessica Lorraine Chinnock, Chiki Chiong, Tobias John Chipala, Elizabeth Ann Cooper, Christopher Arthur Deeds, Jacob Elliott. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"? Thank you. Please be seated. For the next two rows to my right, please stand up. Abdullah Ezzeddin, Yuan Fang, Mary Gleeson, Yulia Guo, Isha Gupta, Daryl Lawrence Han, Chuang Hao, Tarin Hodgkinson, Jiliao Hua, Jing Huang, Robert Aaron Irwin, Caitlin Marie Kavanagh, Freya Elizabeth Kelly, Yo-Yo Yilran Gao Kwok, Barbara Laliotis, Wai Hin Lee, Yi Liu, Tiana Marie Ludwig, Kate Lumsdane, Sophia Wilkes Martin, Elise Claire McDermott. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"? Please be seated. Could the row in front of me in the middle of the court please stand up? Ashley Ann McKellar, Bartiraishe Mukwindidza, John Naum, Muhammad Zia Naseri, Nassim Najadi, Isabella Rose Panzerino, Michael Louis Pascoe, Zoe Patterson Ross, Eric Paul Pavlou, Jeremy Paul Phillips, Lamia Noah Rahman, Mulika Kevin Reiki, Juliet Rezkov. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"?
I do.
Please be seated. Could the two rows on the left-hand side of the court please stand up? Rayan Sadi, Tasmin Haley Schooler, Mahesh Shashindran, Ayam Srestha, Anis Jody Simo Zumgang, Gabrielle Victoria Snedden, Claudia Stahl, Stephen George Stelmach, Angus James Verhuel, Marcus Michael Edwin Ware, India Rose Vilma Warren, Jeffrey Ronald David White, Fei Fan Zong. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state, according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"? Thank you. Please be seated.
Well, may I warmly welcome you all to this, the Banco Court, the ceremonial court of the Supreme Court of New South Wales. Present with me on the bench this morning, to my right is Justice Kirk, a judge of the Court of Appeal, and to my left, Justice Stern, who is also a judge of the Court of Appeal. And together we constitute the court that has, in the exercise of its jurisdiction, admitted you to practice this morning. This court stands on the land for which the Gadigal of the Eora Nation have cared and been custodians for thousands of years, and the court pays its sincere respects to elders past and present and extends those respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. I also acknowledge that sitting with us on the bench to my far left are Justices Payne and Pritchard of the Land and Environment Court of New South Wales, and we're delighted that they have been able to join us today on the bench as well. I also acknowledge, far to my right, Justice Abrahams of the Federal Court of Australia. To all of the newly admitted lawyers, welcome to the legal profession. This morning is one great celebration and achievement. We up here know how hard you've all worked to reach this important milestone. I'm also pleased to welcome those with you today or watching on the live stream. For many of you, the support of your family and friends will have been invaluable on the journey thus far. For many of them, the endurance of your finely polished or developing skills of argument and persuasion may now be at an end, or maybe not. But whatever the case, I'm sure they're all immensely proud of you, and I encourage you to take time to thank them today for their support. Depending on how good an advocate you are, you may be able to convince them to shout you a long civilised lunch or dinner to celebrate your admission. In being admitted as a lawyer of this court, you join an honourable and ancient profession. The custom of advocates swearing an oath on admission to practice dates back to the 12th century, and this court first admitted lawyers in 1824. In May of this year, the court to which you have just been admitted celebrated its 200th anniversary. It is, you might be surprised to learn, one of the oldest continuing courts in the world. That is something of which we, and I hope now you, are immensely proud. Please take time after the ceremony to view the history wall outside the court, the photographs of our bicentennial sitting, and the new Supreme Court gallery to my left to get a taste of our rich history. You're also a very fortunate cohort after this ceremony when you move to the lobby of the court to sign the roll and receive your certificate of admission. You'll also be presented with a copy of the court's recently published bicentenary history entitled Constant Guardian Changing Times, a history of the Supreme Court of New South Wales 1824 to 2024, as a memento of your admission in this bicentennial year. I do hope that you take time to read and enjoy it. It's about 400 pages. There are a lot of photographs, and you don't have to read it in one sitting. It has a wealth of fascinating information in it about the court of which you have each, as I've said, just become an officer. In celebrating the court's bicentenary, we've also been celebrating 200 years of the rule of law in New South Wales, about which I'll say something more shortly. This ceremony is one attended by unique but important formalities, including the fact that each of the newly admitted lawyers has had their admission moved by someone who is already a member of the legal profession, and also that each has made a formal oath or affirmation in the presence of their family and peers and before senior judges of the court. They and we are all therefore witnesses to the serious promises and undertakings that have been publicly made this morning. The law touches every part of our society, and it can and will lead you all in many different directions and career paths. But in whatever direction you head, you must always remember that the oath or affirmation you have just made is a serious one and deserves solemn regard. Whether you go on to work in private practice, at the bar, in a community legal centre, a Crown Law office, the Aboriginal Legal Service for legal aid, or a government department or agency, or indeed in an entirely different field, you should always be known for your honesty, your integrity and your commitment to justice, and must strive at all times to uphold these cardinal values. Being admitted to this court as a lawyer of this court is a privilege. It's not a right, and a responsibility. You will see from the portraits of former Chief Justices which hang around the walls of this court that we are wearing the same robes, in some cases I have to say literally, as have been worn by our predecessors. And you may be wondering why, after 200 years, we still dress like this on ceremonial occasions. I can tell you it's not because they are particularly comfortable. But we do wear them for what I regard as an important symbolic reason. They serve to highlight, on the one hand, the continuity of the rule of law in New South Wales after 200 years, although it's important to note that the judges wearing the robes are now drawn from an increasingly diverse pool, with some almost 45% of all judicial officers in New South Wales now female. But the other symbolic reason is it distinguishes the judiciary from the other arms of government. It's important to have an independent judiciary as an essential component of the rule of law. As to continuity of the rule of law, we live in a world in which there is currently so much global uncertainty and insecurity, and the rule of law is therefore more important than ever, not simply an academic phrase or construct of some mere theoretical import. It matters. At its simplest, the rule of law is the opposite of the arbitrary abuse of power and the rule of autocratic dictators and populists. In a speech delivered in 2018, Lord Hodge of the Supreme Court of the United Kingdom aptly described the rule of law as, and I quote, a bastion against those who would use chaos as a ladder, unquote. Now, notwithstanding the formality and tradition attending this ceremony, the life of the law is actually dynamic. Not everything in the legal profession remains unchanging. The pandemic prompted a radical shift in the use of technology in our courtrooms, and the advent of AI brings with it both opportunities and challenges with which the legal profession and the courts are and will continue to engage. Whilst the increased use of technology offers a number of advantages, it is my firm view that the practice of the law has human nature and human interaction at its core. An essential part of being a good lawyer is understanding people, how others react to different situations, perform under pressure, and interact with each other. An individual who is in need of your services as a lawyer will, in many cases, be an individual facing some kind of great personal challenge or crisis affecting his or her liberty, property, personal well-being or health or financial position. There is therefore a need to deliver legal services not only competently, of course, but always with courtesy, integrity and sensitivity to the often fraught circumstances of the matter. That requires a human being with emotional and not artificial intelligence. The need for human engagement by lawyers with those needing legal assistance is also a powerful reason why there should be strong representation of lawyers from the many different backgrounds which comprise our cosmopolitan community. That very much includes Indigenous lawyers. Diverse representation amongst solicitors, advocates and judges assists in ensuring that all people who become involved in our justice system can and feel that they can be properly heard and fairly engaged with by a system reflective of our broader community and a judiciary educated in and sensitive to the many different cultural strands which contribute to the fabric of contemporary Australian society. The admission ceremonies on which I have sat since becoming a judge 6 or so years ago, including this ceremony, highlight that there is a far greater diversity of background amongst junior lawyers than when I commenced practice. That is a very good thing, and leaders of the profession and the courts are working hard to foster inclusiveness and diversity. That in turn builds trust in and respect for not only the judiciary and the legal profession, but ultimately, I hope, the rule of law. So let me offer briefly a little bit of professional and personal advice. As a lawyer, you will often need to make difficult ethical decisions. You must use the tools you have developed to think critically and not compromise on your fundamental duties to the court and to the administration of justice. At various points of your career, you will make mistakes, some minor, maybe some more serious. If we're honest with ourselves, we all make mistakes from time to time, especially when starting off on something new. When you do make mistakes, your commitment to honesty, integrity, and the administration of justice means that you must take responsibility, correct what you can, and learn from those errors. One mistake which I always advise young lawyers in these ceremonies to strive not to make is the mistake of giving your clients the advice you think they want to hear. I can tell you now that will not be good advice, and they will not welcome it in the long run when the true picture emerges. Your role as an advocate or as a lawyer, as a legal advisor, is to give strong and independent advice to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability, not what the client you think wants to hear. Aspects of the law, especially if you're involved in the litigation side of practice, are confrontational. The practice of the law can be stressful and demanding, but it's stressful and demanding enough without personal animus and antagonism between practitioners adding to the load, as regrettably it sometimes does. So it's essential that in practice you maintain your detachment, balance, and good humour when dealing with your colleagues, including those with whom you negotiate or against whom you litigate, remembering at all times that you are now members of a profession and not a business. Another thing you should remember is that the best advocates can and do make their point simply and succinctly. Often, less is more. Some of the most experienced lawyers and judges could also use that reminder from time to time. I don't wholly exclude myself from that observation. Because for a non-lawyer, law is often incomprehensible, or at least difficult to understand. One of your roles as a lawyer will be to make the law accessible to others. So I urge you to strive to be clear and concise at all times, both in your oral advice and in what you write. To do so ultimately facilitates access to justice. In the practice of the law, we now recognise far better than in the past how important physical and mental health are. There may be, and I dare say will be, times when you feel overwhelmed, burnt out, or distressed. Legal practice can be all-consuming and physically and mentally taxing. Now, that is often because well-motivated lawyers will want to go the extra mile for their clients. They want to make sure the brief is fully prepared, the advice is comprehensive, and that all angles have been observed. And all of that is admirable and conscientious, but it can be, as I've said, physically and mentally taxing. So you have to work hard also to keep your balance and to keep your eye out to ensure that your colleagues also keep their balance. If you do get overwhelmed by it all, try and take a step back and recapture some perspective. You should also know, or if you know already, remember that the law is a highly collegiate profession. In this context, I'm now going to call upon two young lawyers, a representative of the New South Wales Bar Association and a representative of the Law Society of New South Wales, to offer a few brief words of welcome. Ms. Liu, do you move?
May it please the Court. My name is Winnie Liu, and I have been practising for 3.5 years at the Bar, predominantly in commercial law and public law. On behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I welcome you to the legal profession. The legal profession is an old profession based on precedent and the rule of law, while also being a profession that grows and develops to adapt to new practices and technologies, and importantly to society's values as they change over time. For several decades now, the composition of lawyers and barristers in New South Wales has changed better to reflect the community. The bar today is a welcoming place for people of all genders and backgrounds. It has been an honour for me to be an officer of the court, first as a solicitor and now as a barrister. I am proud to be a member of the legal profession. I enjoy the intellectual rigour of my job, and it allows me to engage with complex questions of law that directly affect the people I represent in court. I immigrated to Australia at the age of 7. I didn't speak the language, and it took time for me to understand the culture and fit in. No one else in my family is a lawyer. Notwithstanding this, I studied law and entered a profession that values diversity and rewards hard work. If you are interested in coming to the bar, you can contact the New South Wales Bar Association or have a look at its website, and each year there is a Career at the Bar Open Day. In the first year of practice as a reader, you receive particular assistance from 2 barristers of at least 7 years seniority who meet with you on a weekly basis to review your work and to teach you practical skills. But the support you will receive is not limited to those 2 barristers. The bar is renowned for its collegiality, especially in chambers. There are also opportunities to become involved in the work of the New South Wales Bar Association, which is the professional body that supports barristers and has a range of committees. A new barristers committee, which organises social and educational functions for 0 to 5 year barristers like me, and a diversity and equality committee of which I am a member, which promotes one of the key strategic goals of the New South Wales Bar Association to attract the best people to become barristers, regardless of their race, religion, gender, parental status, or sexual orientation. Whether as a lawyer or barrister, I encourage you to get involved in the Law Society or Bar Association and to use your skills to assist your community. It is a rewarding experience to practice in connection with others in your profession. Once again, on behalf of the Bar Association of New South Wales, I welcome you to the legal profession and I congratulate you on your admission today as a lawyer of this honourable court. May it please the court.
Ms. Andrianopoulos, on behalf of the Law Society of New South Wales.
May it please the court. My name is Andrianne Andrianopoulos, and not so long ago, I stood where you are standing today. And what a day it is. You are here being admitted to the Supreme Court role as the final step at the end of a long and arduous journey. You should all feel immensely proud of what you have achieved thus far. When I embarked on my career as a solicitor, I had no real idea of what to expect. It was not always easy. Often it was overwhelming. But as I stand here today, after 10 years of working as a solicitor, having first been admitted as a solicitor in England and Wales, I can tell you I've learned a thing or two. One of the most important things I have learned is the importance of belonging to a profession. The legal profession is an increasingly large and diverse community, and one to which you now belong. The Law Society of New South Wales is the home of that community, with our 30,000 members flung far and wide across the state. We are bound by our shared duties, our commitment to continuous learning, our desire to connect, and our drive to give back to our communities and uphold the rule of law. As an early career lawyer, belonging to a strong network of peers is crucial. That is why I've been part of the Law Society of New South Wales for 4 years since being admitted in New South Wales. Here I have found friendship, inspiration, guidance and support when I needed it most, as well as opportunities to advocate and join committees. By joining the Law Society and New South Wales Young Lawyers, you will gain access to professional support, conferences and events, a wide range of publications, professional development opportunities, mentoring, volunteer opportunities, and so much more. We encourage you to check out the Law Society website for upcoming events, such as our flagship Welcome to the Profession event, which provides you with an opportunity to celebrate this significant achievement alongside your peers and other members of the profession, and learn more about your next steps as you commence your legal career. The role of the Law Society is to ensure that you, as a newly minted solicitor, can thrive and succeed in your new profession. So again, congratulations to you all. look us up or speak to your employer. We look forward to welcoming you into the Law Society community.
Well, can I say this to you all by way of closing? The law is a wonderful profession. It's stimulating, challenging, and satisfying. And it's populated by intelligent, committed, and dynamic people such as yourselves. You should be proud to be a lawyer, proud of your achievements to date, and proud of the profession you have just joined. It is a very important profession that underpins stability and cohesion in our community. And you are now a very important part of that very important profession. So work hard, take pride in your work, look out for your colleagues, contribute to your community, and don't take yourself too seriously. We up here on the bench, Justice Kirk, Justice Stern, and myself, wish you all the very best of luck on the exciting journey that lies ahead and a full and rewarding career. And so on behalf of all the judges of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, I once again congratulate you on your admission and welcome you to the legal profession. The court will now adjourn.
All stand. This honourable court is now adjourned.